Hello, and welcome to the first public open house for the City of Hamilton's Municipal Class Environmental Assessment for Binbrook Road, Trinity Church Road, and White Church Road intersection improvements. My name is Mark Hallman, professional engineer with R.J. Burnside & Associates Limited, also known as Burnside. Burnside is the consulting engineering company that has been selected by the City of Hamilton to complete this environmental assessment. I will be presenting this virtual version of the first Public Information Center material on behalf of Burnside and the City. Thank you for your interest in this study and for taking the time to review this presentation. We appreciate your interest in the project, as consultation with the community is a very important aspect of this study process. At our in-person public meeting, we encouraged participants to register for the email list to receive future project notices, review the material, and speak to the staff and consulting team members present. As you are reviewing the presentation material online, we encourage you to fill out a comment form at the end of the presentation to give us your feedback, and if you desire, join our project email list to receive future project notices. Contact information for the study team is provided at the end of this presentation. The City of Hamilton is situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. This land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which was an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. We further acknowledge that this land is covered by the Between the Lakes Purchase, 1792, between the Crown and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Today, the City of Hamilton is home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we recognize that we must do more to learn about the rich history of this land so that we can better understand our roles as residents, neighbors, partners, and caretakers. The City of Hamilton has initiated this municipal class environmental assessment to assess and provide a recommended solution for improvements at the intersection of Binbrook Road, Trinity Church Road, and White Church Road. The approximate study area is circled on the map. The primary objective of the study is to improve public safety for all road users, which includes pedestrians and cyclists. The overall goals of the study are to improve operational issues at the intersection, maintain or improve community connectivity, including active transportation, and mitigate impacts to traffic and truck circulation and goods movement to address long-term transportation needs. Your input is a key component to better understand these issues. Shown on the screen is an overview of the municipal class environmental assessment process, which this project will follow. This study falls under Schedule C of the process, which means we will complete phases 1 through 4. The notice of study commencement is the formal initiation of the study, and you may have seen this notice in the Hamilton Spectator or received it if you are a resident within the study area. Should you wish to receive future project notices by email, please contact a member of the project team to join the email contact list. The study is currently at Phase 2 of the municipal class environmental assessment process, in which alternative solutions to solve the problem opportunity statement are identified. At this stage, the natural and socioeconomic environment is also inventoried, and agencies, Indigenous nations, and the public are engaged. Also included in Phase 2 is the evaluation of the identified alternative solutions using information collected for the natural, socioeconomic, technical, and financial environments. This Public Information Center is an opportunity to provide your feedback on the alternatives being considered for the intersection improvements and the preliminary preferred solution, as well as your perspective and concerns in the study area. Feedback received will be reviewed to confirm the preferred solution and documented in a Public Information Center 1 summary report. In Phase 3, the alternative design concepts for the preferred solution will be identified. Phase 3 will also include a second round of consultation with agencies, Indigenous nations, and the public. This will include a second Public Information Center. In Phase 4, the final notice, called the Notice of Study Completion, will be issued to initiate the 30-day public review period of the Environmental Study Report. This document will summarize the studies and decision-making that informed the final solution. The following studies are planned to characterize the environment of the study area for the evaluation of the options for the intersection improvements and identify possible impacts and mitigation measures. In fall and winter 2025, the following studies will be completed: Natural Heritage Assessment, Tree Inventory, Stage 1 Archaeological Assessment, Stage 2 Archaeological Assessment, Heritage Impact Assessment, Multimodal Transportation Assessment, Preliminary Stormwater Management Study. In summer 2026, the following studies are planned to be completed: Stage 2 Archaeological Assessment, Heritage Impact Assessment, Geotechnical Study, hydrogeology report, and tree inventory. In fall 2026, an updated cost estimate will be prepared for the design. As part of the efforts to develop an understanding of the existing conditions and constraints to the alternative solutions, natural heritage information has been gathered to summarize key features within the study area. Field studies were completed in 2025 to characterize the study area. These included botanical survey and ecological land classification delineation of features in addition to breeding bird surveys. The study area is located within the Provincial Greenbelt Plan Protected Countryside designation. Through fieldwork, it was determined that 3 species at risk or of special concern were identified within the area: barn swallow, eastern wood pewee, and monarch. Through the natural heritage work, it was found that the study area does not contain any high-quality natural heritage features. Overall, the existing habitat features are considered unlikely to support a significant number of rare or at-risk species. These natural heritage existing conditions include the provincially significant Copetown Bog and the provincially significant Big Creek Headwaters Wetland Complex, Grand River Conservation Authority regulated area, watercourse and ravine slope, Summit Muskeg Preserve area of natural and scientific interest, significant woodlands, potential for species at risk such as bats and trees, Provincial Greenbelt Plan and Associated Natural Heritage System, Niagara Escarpment Plan. As noted in the previous slide, field studies will be initiated in the spring 2025 to further characterize the study area. These studies are anticipated to include some or all of the following: botanical survey and ecological land classification delineation of features, wetland boundary staking, breeding bird surveys with an additional grassland bird survey, amphibian call surveys. A review of federal, provincial, and municipal registers, inventories, and databases revealed 1 potential built heritage resource, BHR, in the study area, shown in blue in the above mapping. BHR1, barn, shown in blue. 2 potential cultural heritage landscapes, CHLs, were identified during background research and field review. These 2 are shown in yellow. CH1, Binbrook Cemetery, the first property highlighted in yellow at the north end. CH2, Residential Agricultural Building, second property highlighted in yellow at the south, extending far beyond the study area. The technical environment existing conditions include transportation conditions. As part of this environmental assessment, a comprehensive transportation assessment was conducted to evaluate existing and future traffic operations, safety concerns at the intersection, and community feedback. The study aims to maintain or enhance community connectivity, including active transportation, while mitigating impacts on traffic, truck circulation, and goods movement. Burnside's traffic analysis reviewed collisions in the study area and found that of the 25 collisions that occurred between 2019 and 2023, none of the collisions involved a pedestrian or cyclist. Single motor vehicle collisions were the most common, with 7 occurrences. There were 6 rear-end collisions and 6 angle collisions. Approaching, sideswept, and turning movement had 2, 1, and 3 occurrences, respectively. Municipal policy was also reviewed for existing designations, showing that Whitechurch Road and Binbrook Road are identified as future truck routes according to the Truck Route Master Plan. The Cycling Master Plan also recommended future reconstructions of the Binbrook Road, Whitechurch Road corridor to include on-road cycling facilities. There are currently no dedicated pedestrian sidewalks or bicycle facilities on Trinity Church Road or its side roads. The roadway features unpaved and partially paved shoulders. This is reflected in the poor level of service for bicycles and pedestrians. As shown on the previous slide, the city's cycling master plan recommends that any future reconstructions of the Binbrook Road and Whitechurch Road corridor should include on-road cycling facilities. Overall, traffic operations are anticipated to remain at an acceptable level of service for vehicles by 2031. This is reflected in the good level of service for automobiles. South of this intersection, Trinity Church Road passes through farmland with silos, which likely contributes to truck activity in the area. The level of service for trucks is noted to be fair to good. As mentioned on the previous slide, Whitechurch Road and Binbrook Road are identified as future truck routes according to the city's Truck Route Master Plan. The map prepared as part of the draft archaeological assessment shows areas of archaeological potential in orange and green, which have previously not been disturbed. If the preferred alternative confirmed for this project is expected to disturb the areas with archaeological potential, then additional archaeological work will be required for these areas. This map also shows areas with low archaeological potential in yellow. These are areas where the lands have been disturbed in the past and would not require additional study. The cemetery is shown in purple at the north end of the study area. The first alternative is do nothing, a mandatory requirement for consideration in the municipal class environmental assessment process. Under this alternative, the road corridor and intersections would remain the same, with continued performance of regular maintenance as required. As this alternative does not address the problem opportunity statement, it is not carried forward. As we noted earlier in the presentation, the primary objective of the study is to improve the safety of the intersection for all those who travel along the road, including pedestrians and cyclists. The do-nothing alternative does not meet the goals of this study, which are to improve operational issues at the intersection, maintain or improve community connectivity, and mitigate impacts to traffic and truck circulation and goods movement to address long-term transportation needs. The second alternative is a single intersection. This alternative would include consolidation of the existing road alignments and intersections into a single intersection. Design options that would be considered under this alternative would include a roundabout, signalization, and stop control. This alternative would also include the addition of turn lanes as necessary and accommodate active transportation users such as pedestrians and cyclists. The Cycling Master Plan recommended that future reconstructions of the Binbrook Road, Whitechurch Road corridor include the installation of paved shoulders. The Recreational Trails Master Plan also recommends assessing the Binbrook Road, Whitechurch Road corridor for options to include on-road cycling facilities. This alternative would also accommodate commercial and agricultural vehicles. Alternative 3 is two intersections. This alternative would include consolidation of the existing road alignments and intersections into two intersections along Trinity Church Road at Whitechurch Road East and the second at Binbrook Road. Design options that would be considered under this alternative would include a roundabout, signalization, and stop control, similar to Alternative 2. This alternative would include the addition of turn lanes as necessary and accommodations for active transportation users such as pedestrians and cyclists. The Cycling Master Plan recommended that future reconstructions of the Binbrook Road, Whitechurch Road corridor include the installation of paved shoulders. The Recreational Trails Master Plan also recommends assessing the Binbrook Road, Whitechurch Road corridor for options to include on-road cycling facilities. This alternative would also accommodate commercial and agricultural vehicles. The impacts of the alternative solutions are evaluated against the inventory of the natural, socio-cultural, financial, and technical environment of the study area, including possible mitigating measures. A summary of the criteria is provided under each environment category. The natural environment criteria will be evaluated based on the potential impact of the alternatives on natural resources within the study area. This includes impacts to groundwater resources and drainage in addition to areas such as bird, insect, and other wildlife habitats. The areas of impact will be evaluated based on anticipated construction activities and limits of disturbance of each alternative. The extent of impacts and the ability to mitigate such impacts or provide enhancements to the natural environment will help determine the evaluation of the alternative. The sociocultural environment criteria includes consideration for potential to impact heritage resources such as archaeology and cultural heritage. Nuisance impacts such as noise, visual impact, construction impacts are also considered along with the impact to driveway access and land and property acquisition needs. These criteria also include how well the alternatives conform to municipal and agency policy. The technical environment criteria will consider aspects such as how the transportation network is affected through levels of service and traffic congestion, as well as operational and roadside safety. This alternative also considers design constraints looking to the future project stages, utility impacts, and goods movement requirements. Transportation-related considerations such as level of service for local residents and businesses, multimodal transportation connectivity and safety, and pedestrian and cyclist needs are also considered. The financial environment criteria will be evaluated based on a comparison of estimated capital costs, estimated operation and maintenance costs, and anticipated property acquisition costs for each alternative. This table shows a high-level summary of the evaluation of alternative solutions. The full or filled-in circles indicate higher preference associated with the greatest improvement to conditions and the least number of negative impacts. The criteria under each category, natural, sociocultural, financial, and technical, were scored for the criteria that we went over in the previous slide. These scores are averaged out to arrive at the most preferred solution. Between the three alternatives, alternative 3, 2 intersections, was found to be the most preferred overall and is therefore the preliminary preferred solution. We are presenting the solution at this PIC to see what residents think about this, and we'll use your comments as input as part of finalizing the preferred solution before moving to the next phase, which will involve design concepts based on this solution. Based on the evaluation of alternative solutions, the preliminary preferred alternative is alternative 3, 2 intersections. Under the natural environment criteria, it was found that this option has the least impact on the natural environment, with no impacts to residential wells and minimal impacts to drainage. Within the socio-cultural environment criteria, this alternative is not anticipated to impact cultural heritage features in the study area. For the technical environment criteria, it was found primarily that this alternative would require the least design effort and associated design impacts. Under the financial environment criteria, this alternative was found to have the lower property acquisition costs, as the footprint of the existing road would mostly be maintained. Now that we've provided you with the background information and preliminary preferred alternative solution, you may be wondering about the timelines and next steps for this study. Public consultation is a very important aspect of this study. As part of this first Public Information Center, we would like to hear from the community to aid our team in furthering our understanding of priorities of residents such as yourself and what you would like to see addressed as part of this study. So, we ask that, at the end of this presentation, you provide the project team with your comments related to any specific interests or comments that you have for the team to consider, or any other comments you feel should be considered. During the 2-week comment period following Public Information Center 1, the team will be reviewing and considering comments to determine if there's any additional information to consider in the confirmation of the preferred alternative solution. In the spring and summer of 2026, the team will continue to complete field studies and gather information to feed into the study. Public Information Center 2 will also be held in summer 2026. Keep an eye on the project webpage and newspaper for the date. If you're interested in joining the email contact list to directly receive project notices, please contact the project team. After the completion of the environmental assessment, the environmental study report will be finalized. This report documents the work completed and will be posted for a 30-day public review period. This review period will be initiated through the Notice of Study Completion. Thank you for listening to this presentation of the Public Information Center 1 materials. As we mentioned, public consultation is a very important part of this study. During the 2-week comment period following Public Information Center 1, our team will be reviewing and considering comments to determine if there is a need to reevaluate or confirm the preferred alternative. Should you wish to be added to the project contact list, please feel free to contact one of the project team members. On behalf of the City of Hamilton, we thank you for your interest in this study.